Hello everyone, welcome again. We have another offer in the shop, and this time is a collector tank. It's a German heavy tank on tier 10 VK9001P. This tank was that was a price for a last Christmas event, and as you remember, there was quite expensive event, lots of money involved if you want to get this tank, and the price in the shop is also quite expensive. Just take a look. Actually, we don't have a tank itself, we have a crates, and for 8.99 pounds or dollar we have one crate which contains 4% chance to get VK9001P, or a pack of goodies which contains up to 25 epic, rare or common boosters for free experience. Accordingly, is 220 for epic is 28,000, for rare is 2,300, and for common one is 200 free XP. Up to 1,000 of gold for that in each option, plus one charm for VK9001P. And of course, by collecting those charms, you can obtain the tank, but you need 30 charms to get the tank without any chances, like 100% chance to get the tank. That might be quite expensive, because if you look at the price, $8.99 for one crate, and consider if you're lucky, if you're really lucky, like 50% chance to get the tank, for example. So you spend you buy 15 crates, and within those 15 crates you will find the tank without collecting charms. So that's gonna cost you about 15 times 8.99. That's gonna cost you about 135 pounds or dollars. That's gonna be quite expensive tank. And if you're not, if you don't have luck, if you're unlucky, you have to buy 30 crates, which gonna cost you about $270 or pounds. So just looking on the gold price, for 200 pounds you may buy such an amount of gold that you can buy any other tank you want from the shop or from special offers that we recently having on the market. And seriously, you just consider for yourself if the tank has so much value to spend so much, because don't forget, it's only 4% of chance. Of course, you may be super lucky and you can get the tank within like 10 containers, which is gonna cost you about 90 pounds anyway. Right, how about the tank? If you get here the parameters, the tank is quite good actually. It's a collector tank, but is one of the best tanks, heavy tanks on tier 10. Amount of HP 2,450 is like slightly above average, because the average amount of HP on this tier is about 2,400, 2,500. So this one is pretty much okay. The view range 282 meters is not that bad actually. DPM 2622 is fair enough. Penetration 275 millimeters. This is very good, because again, if you look on the other guns on tier 10, the heavy tanks, because of course the tank destroyers got much higher values, but among the heavy tanks 275 is quite good, because the average penetration is about 250-260 millimeters. So this is slightly above average, good enough. Damage, alpha damage 460, again is like moderate amount, is not too low, not too high, is good enough for heavy tank. It's just like a regular heavy tank, the tier 10 gun. Reload time is 10.53, is also good enough, quite good for on a tier 10 heavy tank. And if you combine this all together with dispersion 0.33, all together makes quite good sniping gun on a heavy tank, able to penetrate the weak spot, to find the weak spots, and even to shoot from the distance, which this tank is probably the most effective on. And what else? The weak point of this tank is gun depression, because we have only 4 degrees. The tank is something similar like the typical, you know, the back mounted turret. So the hull doesn't allow you to lower the gun more than the level of the hull. So the pressure here is only 4 degrees, but if you turn on the side of the tank, that goes slightly higher, up to 10 degrees. So this, but with this tank you don't have much situation that you're gonna expose your side armors. This tank is built just to the side scrap. The this is typical proper side scrapper. But let's get back to the to the parameters. Elevation, like I said, 10 degrees, and depression 4 degrees in the front. Mobility here is quite good actually. It has average speed is about 30 km per hour, and backwards is 15. It's not that bad for a heavy tank. And and traverse speed 30.37. That's quite good. Actually, it's quite good for heavy tank. Again, it's a heavy machine, about 90 tons. So that's quite impressive. And if we get to the armor performance, that's the best part of this machine. Look at that. Let's get 3D, gonna be slightly easier. See, if you look at the tank from the front, here you got 376 mm is like angled sloped upper plate at 363 mm. So bear in mind, if we talk about the heavy tanks, which have average penetration about 260 to 270, you had 360 here, so it's quite good. This, don't even think about the weak spot. Look at that, 999 plus is well armored. This part 331, and the lower plate 250. This is only weak spot on the front of this tank. You may try, because a few times I tried the situation when you shot high explosive underneath the tank, and it works quite well to damage the bottom part. But here we have, look, if you try to shoot from the front, it's 200 mm. No, it's not easy to penetrate. Same on the turret. This is spaced armor on a gun mantlet, so don't even bother to shoot there. 313 mm here, active. 350, 305. So it's quite difficult to penetrate for any heavy tank on the tier. This one is even more difficult. 461 with that angle. And the only weak spot that you could think of is this cupola. But look, 222 and 367. And if you look at the shape of that, that's more likely that's gonna bounce most of the shots. Anyway, so from the front, it's quite well armored. Even better if you consider the side scrap. And this is, like I said, the proper side scrapper, because the back turret mounted turret allows you to show only this part. And then if you angle correctly, for example, when you get the gun pointed on your enemy like that, for example, you're showing only this part here. So here, look, you got 373, 676 with this angle is almost unpenetratable. Here 494, so only this little part, but again 262. This is the only part you can get penetrated. Most of that is well armored and impossible to penetrate. So armor is a really strong point of this gun, of this tank. Okay, that was about the theory. And in practice, as you can see, the tank is not too slow, not too fast. It's just his speed is good enough for a heavy tank, and like I said before, it's has quite good maneuverability. And if you consider this his armor and the construction with the back located turret, that's going to be perfect side scrapper. And if you manage to hide to find the position to hold down, that's going to be very strong point of defense. Also, it's quite effective as a sniper because of gun parameters. Like I said, the gun dispersion is 0.33, so it's quite effective, quite good gun dispersion, plus good velocity and penetration. That makes it quite effective sniper as well. And that's it. The tank, like I said, the tank is quite good. Is slightly above average according to the parameters, but in my opinion is really overpriced, because amount of not even gold, the amount of the cash that you have to spend on it is incredible. You have to be extremely lucky to get it within within 5-6 crates, maybe 10, and that's gonna cost you anyway a lot. So just think for yourself, if you want this tank to keep in your collection, or you prefer to spend this cash the other way, it's completely up to you. According to the parameters, this tank is a recommendable tank, but the money wise, I would not recommend to spend too much on it. Right, thank you everyone for coming today, for watching. I hope I'll give you some interesting advices about it. If you want to see any other materials, just stay tuned, subscribe the channel, and be prepared for another materials that they're gonna come soon. Meanwhile, thanks everyone for coming. I hope I'm gonna see you next time. Take care.